Hi everybody, it's Nikki here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, today's video is going to be talking about something that I feel is very pertinent to a lot of transgender women, and it happens at a very early stage in our lives. Now, when I was younger, one of the big things that was talked about all the time was of this false image of beauty portrayed on the media. You have these beautiful Victoria's Secret angels, you have these beautiful Playboy models, you have these beautiful movie stars, and how that sets a bad image in younger women and gives them body dysmorphia, saying that they need to achieve this. They need to have low body fat percentages. They need to be these beautiful, fit, skinny girls with plastic surgery. Now, we've moved away from that, I hope, and you see a lot of the thicker girls coming out that are just absolutely slaying every day, honey. However, that also affected me as a transgender person. So like when I was younger, I was a guy, I just looked at these beautiful women and was like, oh, these are the hallmarks of beauty. They're getting all of the views, they're getting all of this money. Like they were perfect basically. And I was like, okay, how do I achieve that? If I'm going to transition and go through this life-changing process, spend thousands of dollars, potentially alienate certain people out of my life, I'm gonna look good. Like, why not? Like if I'm gonna put all this work in it, I'm gonna look banging. And so one of my goals was to set out to achieve this body that I have seen from the early age of this super fit, athletic toned woman. And what I've learned on my journey is that it is possible to achieve that. It literally requires a lifestyle to do it, but it is something that is achievable and something that I have worked towards. And this led me into this broader topic of body feminization, because this is a goal for a lot of transgender women, is that we want the curves, we want the hourglass, if you want the pear shape or you want the apple. A lot of us want bigger butts, a lot of us want more fuller chests. Like body dysmorphia and gender dysphoria go hand in hand as the 1-2 punch that kicks our ass from early age. And I experienced it too. However, 8 years before I even started transitioning, I started working out. I started to eat the food. I started to learn the process of how do I actually attain this beautiful body. And that is what I share with you, is I want to share some of my tips and what I have learned on how I feminize my body. Now, big disclaimer is that everybody is different, every body is different, so what works for me may not work for you due to genetics and a whole lot of other factors. However, these are some guidelines that I have learned. Now, let's get into the video, but remember to like and subscribe, hit those comments in the comment section, hit the notification bell to never miss a video, and give us super thanks if you're feeling extra. Now let's get into how I feminize my body. Okay, now big disclaimer before we get into the actual topic of the video. I wanted to mention plastic surgery because I know everyone's gonna be talking about plastic surgery down at the bottom. Now, plastic surgery for transgender women is a big topic that I've already done a couple of videos on, but it is a very quick fix to body dysmorphia in a lot of ways. You can kind of get on like a road with plastic surgery and end up becoming more plastic than female, but that's another thing. Now, plastic surgery for a lot of us is the very quick, easy option to achieving a feminine body. You don't have boobs, go get breast implants. You don't have a butt, go get a BBL. You have excess fat on you, go get that lipoed out and go put that into your hips. You need your face done, go for it. That's what a lot of us want plastic surgery for, is those quick fixes to problems that we perceive all the time. Like for example, my jawline, this square jawline that I have in the back, is not going away until I get FFS surgery and get a jawline contouring. My lack of chest, because I'm an ectomorphic, very thin individual, I'm just not going to develop a chest naturally. I'm planning to get my breast surgery next year. So like I want it, a lot of us want it, but a lot of us can't afford it. And a lot of us also have a fear of going under the knife and having this quick sudden change affected to us. Some of us just want a more slow, gradual process. And so this video is going to be talking about the fitness and nutrition side of this, how you can build your body through fitness, how nutrition plays a part in it, and also talking about the HRT and what it really does and how fitness, HRT, and nutrition can all combine into creating a feminine body. That's the cusp of this video. I just wanted to put a disclaimer of plastic surgery out there, just so no haters are like, well, what about body contouring? What about breast surgery? I'm like, no, those are all valid options, and if you want to pursue it, go for it, honey. No one's stopping you. Go get those boobs, go get that butt. I could care less. Have fun, live your life. Now let's get into the actual video. Now we're gonna be talking about how HRT changes you. Now I have done a video on how HRT affects your body, so I'm not gonna go into like the big details of it, but the long and short of HRT, for those that don't know, is HRT stands for hormone replacement therapy. And if you're going from a man to a woman, the goal is to suppress your body's natural testosterone that it creates and replace that with estrogen. So I take spironolactone and estradiol. Spironolactone is a testosterone suppressor, so it reduces the amount of testosterone that my body creates. And estrogen is essentially just straight estrogen that is put into you. So your body produces estrogen, and everybody, male, females, everybody produces estrogen. But now that I'm on estradiol, it has more to do it, and so thus it will develop more feminine attributes. Now, HRT does so much stuff that I can't really get into the big thing I talk a lot about in that video. But the main thing that I want to talk about here is it does fat redistribution. Now, fat redistribution is a big one because it causes your fat to move to more feminine areas more closely associated with womanhood, such as the chest, the triceps, the hips, the butt. You will start seeing fat grow in those areas. So you might not have had hips before transition, but you have them now. As you see on the thumbnail of this video, I have a fairly good hips by this point because of HRT fat redistribution. Now, the one thing I do want to talk about though, when it comes to HRT, is there's this big thing in the transgender community of HRT made me gain weight. And I kind of want to dispel that right now, is that HRT does not make you gain weight. A pill or an injection of estrogen isn't going to contain like 3,000 calories. It may contain like 10 at the most, and your body's going to metabolize that super fast. What it does change is your body's natural metabolism rate of fat cells. Now in men, generally you will tend to metabolize fat faster than females. So a 500 calorie Starbucks drink, you may not really see that on a male. Now, post HRT, your metabolism rate is slowed, and so that 500 calorie Starbucks drink that you drank as a guy takes a lot longer to metabolize, and thus it turns into fat cells. So if you were eating 3,000 calories as a guy and seeing basically no weight gain, on HRT, you may see a weight gain. It really just depends on your diet by that point. I'm an ectomorph. I metabolize fat extremely fast due to my body genetics. And I also eat a very small amount of calories, maybe at the most like 2,500 in a single day. So thus I don't really see much fat gain even being on HRT for 3.5 years. So that is a myth I wanted to dispel because it does come up a lot in the transgender community. Is that HRT made me gain weight? No, it's that you're not metabolizing that fat fast enough to really see that. So a diet change and you will not see that gain. Now, the main thing that HRT does is it changes your body structure. It changes your fat redistribution. It does a lot for body feminization. I think that's where the most of my body fat and body feminization came from, is from HRT. However, HRT combined with a fitness diet focused on these feminine areas, as well as a diet plan to build muscle in those areas, thus allows me to have a more feminine physique. But I just wanted to mention HRT there because that is a big part of my body feminization. Okay, now let's go into our next system of fitness. Now, before I get into fitness, I need to also dispel another rumor that is very circulated in the transgender community. A lot of transgender women are afraid of going to the gym because they don't want to get big. Now, when I think of big, I think of like bodybuilding legends like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dolph Lundgren. I think of Ronnie Coleman doing these giant, jacked, roided out dudes. And those guys are badass as hell, personally. But that's also a lifestyle to achieve that. Getting big is a lifestyle. I know a friend, he is a gay male, that he wants to be big. He consumes 3,500 calories plus a day. Like, I don't know if you've ever like tried to like eat 3,000 calories, but it's actually quite a bit. It's actually quite a bit. And when you read about these bodybuilders that have achieved these massive jacked physiques they're eating 4,000 plus a day. I was watching this one podcast that literally said this guy was eating constantly every like 2 to 3 hours. He would get up in the middle of the night and eat food, and just food, and then that combined with the workout made him big. So unless you're doing that, you're probably not gonna get big. Now, if you are an endomorph and you hold fat a little bit more, you may be big, but a little curve here and there doesn't hurt, honey. I'm just gonna say that. Now, there's also this idea of that, oh, if I work out, I'm just gonna look like a feminine dude. Now, there's this idea that I wanna mention to you of masculine muscle versus feminine muscle. Masculine muscle is those jacked bodybuilders, those John Cena dudes, those super fit ones. But have you ever seen like a male runner? They're very lean. They're a very lean individual. There's also transgender women who are fitness people. And this is where I'm gonna mention Carmen Carrera. Carmen Carrera, for those of you that don't know her, was a contestant on RuPaul's Drag Race that I think was in like the top finishers of that series. And she transitioned after that show, and she is now a triathlete. She goes out and does triathlons. She goes out and does running competitions. She does that, but she isn't looking like Leah Thomas. She looks like a super fit female individual. Like, she is a fitness girl that is also transgender, but she looks very good. She's an example of what I'm gonna call feminine muscle, where if you put in a lot of hard work, you can achieve a feminine physique through fitness. That's why I'm gonna mention Carmen Carrera here. You also have Gigi Gorgeous's physique. Gigi Gorgeous is very thin, very fit, and she looks like a woman. She doesn't look like a guy. She looks like a freaking badass freaking chick, in my opinion. So you have this idea of that. Now, granted, both of these individuals have had quite a bit of plastic surgery, especially in the chest. But the idea of, oh, I'm gonna work out and be jacked, that's, unless you live that lifestyle every day, you're not gonna achieve that. Now, if you want to be a fit feminine woman, that is something that you can achieve. Because if you go out there and look at female bodybuilders, like think of bikini bodybuilding, that is bodybuilding. They're at the gym all the time. They eat a very specific diet to achieve that, but they are feminine fit. They have amazing glutes, they have amazing abs, but they're still feminine. You read about most of these girls and they're like, oh, I love getting my nails done. I love doing my makeup. Like, being on stage in a little bikini with my makeup done and my hair done is a beautiful thing. And that to me is amazing, is that they are fitness girls that have built a badass body. Now, building that body is a totally different process. And if you want to see about how I start to achieve a feminine body through fitness, you can go watch my video that I did on how to achieve a booty for beginners. And if you want more fitness videos, let me know. But the main point of what I'm saying is that if you are transgender and you start fitness, you're not gonna turn into some roided out giant dude that looks like a chick. No, you are probably gonna be more closely associated with like one of the feminine bodybuilders. It just depends on how your lifestyle is. If you wanna go out there and achieve a super fit, lean, toned body, you can do it. And that's what I've been doing over the last couple months, is embracing protein, embracing muscle, and I feel fit and gorgeous as all hell nowadays because I'm doing what I want to do for my body, and that's amazing. Now let's go into our last topic of nutrition. Now, first up, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist. This is just research that I have learned via the internet, articles, YouTube videos, and also my own experience with this. Now, with my goal of being a lean, fit chick, I consume lean protein. And the idea is that when you work out, for those that don't know this, when you work out, say you do a bicep curl, you can see the bicep growing right there. When you are working out, what you're doing is you're tearing those muscles and your body is creating a stimulus. Thus it's saying, oh, this muscle is being used more often, I need to grow it. And thus it's gonna throw a bunch of nutrients into that tear and cause it to grow. So it's basically like an evolutionary process that we're undergoing whenever you work out. Think of pictures of like that giant crab with that one claw on it. Like that one claw is massive compared to the little claw. And that's an evolutionary trait because that crab has used that claw more often, thus that claw has become bigger. That's essentially what you're doing when you work out. Now, the goal is when I work out is to consume low calories, high protein. I try to stick to at least a 2,000 calorie range, sometimes a little bit lower depending on the day, but I try to go for high protein. Now, high protein meaning you try to eat what your body weight is. So for example, I weigh 150 pounds. I'm trying to consume 150 grams of protein per day. And you can go over, there's a lot of science that whether it's 0.75 grams per body weight or 1.5, there's a lot of debate on that stuff. So I try to just do 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, the main thing that I also try to avoid is limiting the other macros. Macros being all of the ingredients on the nutrition label, such as calorie, fat, saturated fat, carbs, sugar, all that stuff. I try to limit my carbs and sugar intake because carbs and sugar in America is everywhere. It's literally in everything. Like, it's very hard to find things low in carbs and sugar. Even when you look at organic options, they're still high in carbs and sugar. It may be organically grown, but still can be high in carbs and sugar. A box of crackers is still gonna have high grams of carbs, whether it's organic or non-organic. So you really have to be careful with nutrition labels. Now, the main thing I've learned is limiting carbs and sugar. You need them to live, I'm just gonna say that right now, but I try to limit them because excess carbs causes your body to be more full. And then when you have more sugars, it also does the same thing. It makes you wired, it makes you jacked, it makes you go. That's why whenever you drink Starbucks, it makes you feel good because it kind of gives you an endorphin hit in your brain. Now, I try to avoid foods that are high in carbs and sugar. It's very hard, but that's what I try to do. And I try to focus on protein. So I go for more lean protein options, which I'm gonna do a video on, so I'm not gonna do all that far on, but I try to go for yogurt. Yogurt is a really good option, Greek yogurt especially, chicken, turkey, scrambled eggs. I eat scrambled eggs every single morning. Like, it's very consistent with me. I make it with Fairlife milk. Fairlife has some bad rap with it due to it being owned by Coke, but it has high amounts of protein in it, and that's why I drink it. Now, I also throw Tabasco on it to make it taste good, because sometimes scrambled eggs get boring after a while. Now, this specific diet combined with my fitness regime has allowed me to achieve a pretty feminine body that I'm very happy about. And the cool part is that one girl on a podcast said this best, is that whenever you're bodybuilding, you're essentially a science experiment. You are essentially trying to see what you can do to achieve these bodies that you have seen online. And that's what I have done. I have read into the calories, I've read into what these fitness girls eat, and honestly, I'm getting there. Like, I'm getting there slowly to becoming like one of those like super fit feminine influencers. The only thing is that whenever I go to my parents' house, they always have like pork roast and like these high carb meals, and it's super good and it's amazing. But I don't eat that every day, because the goal of any nutrition regimen is to not eat excessive amounts. Now, am I saying that you can't eat burgers? No, I ate burgers. In fact, I'm gonna link a video here of me eating a juicy burger at a restaurant, and it was amazing. But do I eat that burger every single day? No. So always eat within moderation. And if you're on a specific diet plan, try to adhere to that diet plan that you are on, and you will achieve results. Now again, every body is different, so how food affects you is going to affect me differently. So as you can see in this video, there was a lot of topics to talk about. And this is not in any ways a comprehensive list, because I can't make a comprehensive guide of how to do this. I could, but it works for me, but it may not work for you. And so you have to do the experimentation. Maybe get with a nutritionist, maybe get with a fitness instructor, maybe get with a personal trainer, and start seeing like what I need to build the body. And that's kind of the main goal of any fitness regimen, especially when you're trying to build a feminine body, is to focus on the areas that you're working on. I do a lot of glute exercises. I do a lot of leg press. I do a lot of Romanian deadlifts. I do barbell squats. I do kettlebell squats. I do quadricep presses. I do hamstring curls. I do all of that stuff. Hip abductor, hip abductions, hip adduction, like I do all that stuff in order to build this, but it's also combined with the HRT that's also pushing fat down there. And this is also with high protein diets that are also helping me build a pretty good hip ratio. And that's the thing I've been learning, is that you can achieve this too, you just have to put time and effort into it. It's going to take a long time. I've been working out for the better part of 10 years by this point. I've been focusing on my butt religiously for the past like 6 months, and I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing good growth. You can see it on my Instagram whenever I do those posts. Like, I am seeing a good body forming from all this stuff. And it's really cool to see this, because this is the body that I've wanted since I was a kid. And nowadays, because I've learned the tools of nutrition, because I go to the gym, and because I've learned how HRT affects me, I don't need to go get a BBL. I don't need to go get hip surgery. I don't need to go get any of that stuff, because I'm doing it naturally. And that's the cool part about fitness, is it doesn't require you to go out and spend $10,000 on a surgery to get a butt. I mean, you can just do it. It may take a while, but it's a really cool process when you are committing to something, you're adhering to it, you're doing something that a whole lot of people dream about doing, but are unwilling to commit to it. And you're doing it. And that to me is a rewarding experience. And that's why I love working out. That's why I'm glad to be on this road of building my feminine body, because it makes me feel good. Now, thank you for this YouTube video. That was a lot of stuff that I threw out at you. I threw out a lot of science. I threw out a lot of just bro science too. And thank you for watching that YouTube video. I hope you can get some more. And if you want me to go deeper into what I talked about in this video, please comment down in the comment section. I love doing these videos, so if you want me to make more, I have no problem with making more of them. Now, a couple of housekeeping things. I am super close to 5,000 subscribers. I am at this point at 2,891 as of filming this video. I think it's 6:30 on Thursday, September 5th, and I am very happy to almost hitting 3,000 subscribers. I am on the push to try to hit 5,000 subscribers, so thank you. Thank you for everybody, been doing super thanks, and this last week has been amazing on my YouTube channel, and there will be a lot more videos to come, because it's pretty awesome seeing the action, seeing all of the positivity in the comment section. So thank you. Thank you. Now, this has been Nikki Chanel. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. If you like it, please smash that like and subscribe button. Put those comments in the comment section. Keep it respectful. Give a super thanks if you're feeling extra. Hit that notification bell to never miss a video, because we got more on the way. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.